welcome back for the second session of today's games for the second season of CPSL 2019. Our first game for this session, the leader Tigers taking on the Jawas Wolves. The Tigers winning their game earlier today with a narrow finish against the Commandos, just managing to hold on for that win. The Wolves with a last gasp equalising goal with 2 seconds left to get a draw in their first game today. Joining me for commentary for this game, and unfortunately was on the receiving end of that clutch equalising goal from the Wolves, Anthony, captain of the Bulls. How are you?
Yeah, gutted, but such a sport, isn't it? What can you do?
It was a good game to watch, but
it's a good show.
Very upset for you. I can feel that still searching for that first win for the season.
It's gutting. It's really gutting. But oh well.
Introducing the teams and the players from each team. Number 1 from Poland, Cezary Salamonik. Number 2 from the Netherlands, Roy Dekkers. Number 3 from Switzerland, Dario Stern. Number 6 from Spain, Adrian Hamida. Number 8 from France, Leo Manahut. Number 10 from Chinese Taipei, Zhu Xing. Number 11 from Switzerland, Andreas Hug. And number 12 from England, David McBay. Introducing the leader Tigers now, the captain of the Tigers, number 1 from Australia, Adam Hoffmeyer. Number 2 from Russia, Vladislav Skomorokov. Number 3 from Chinese Taipei, Wei Chen Cao. Number 4 from the Netherlands, Lucas Reinders. Number 8 from New Zealand, Joshua Vivian. Number 11 from Germany, Tim Rieke. And number 12 from France, Benjamin Dolbeck. It should be a good game between these two teams. When they faced each other in Season 1, the Wolves scraped out a win, much to everyone's surprise, thinking that the Tigers would get the easy win. Our referees for today, Evan Kong from Singapore and Alan Winter from Wales.
Indeed, Wolves came out the gate really well and surprised their first 3 victims. They played well as a team and deservedly so. They came away with 3 first wins. Sort of.
Yeah, they came out at the start of the season playing a very strong team game, and it did catch a lot of teams off guard.
They were a good team against us, but unfortunately we couldn't manage to close it out. They had a couple of unfortunate errors, jumping the start and gave us a yellow card, and that costly turnover at the end of the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, you had a very good first half. That was not the way that you wanted to start that second half with that full 2-minute yellow card for the line foul on the charge start.
But we'll take the next game. There's a slight chance for it, so we've got a very small chance of making it. We have to win all the next ones, and the Blue Helmets can only draw 1 game. They have to lose the rest now, so, which seems unlikely.
One can only hope.
One can only hope. last 3 games have been a wonderful spectacle for the sport.
Yeah, 2 of those games, the first 2, Tigers and the Commandos, and then the Hippos and the Blue Helmets, had a fairly large margin at the half-time, but both of the teams that were down managing to race back and make the end of the game very exciting by only losing by 1 goal, but getting back into it and getting a few excellent goals on the scoreboards.
Indeed. Even the crowd getting in on it as well. It was good to watch.
Yeah, we had a great turnout for the first session. We've got a really good turnout at the Ningbo Olympic Sports Centre here for this second session as well. Great to see parts of the stadium full.
Nice. I think the longer this yellow team, the Tigers can play together, the stronger they'll get. I think they really missed Semi Harpiter and his sort of way he has with the team on bringing them together. But I think the more they get together and the more these boys play, I think they're going to be dangerous as well.
Yeah, some big shoes to fill there for Adam Hoffmeyer, the captain for this season. Great to see the new players for the teams performing well in their first games. For the Tigers, Lucas Reinders and Joshua Vivian scoring some excellent goals for their team.
Indeed. It's good for Josh as well. He's would have liked to get that first goal on the board. Settle the nerves a little bit. I flew over with him from New Zealand and he was fairly nervous, so it's a good experience for him. He's a young player now. New Zealand under-21s. Should make the team this year, all going well.
Well, he has scored 2 goals from 2, so he's sitting on 100% conversion rate at the moment, so
Lovely.
He should be pretty happy with that. Dario Stern for the Wolves taking the charge start here. Doesn't seem to be anyone going against him.
Oh, strange.
Not sure whether there was a foul there or... No, they've still got 5 on the field, so maybe a bit of miscommunication on who was going to take it, and Tigers didn't send anyone forward. They do have the ball now, though.
Foul. Poor pass by Popeye.
Just trying to send the ball as fast as he can down the other end of the field. His team knows that he can pass the ball the length of the field, but that time just wasn't as accurate as it needed to be. Wolves with the corner now. The captain Stern taking it.
People may have noticed that the pool wasn't up to level. I've turned the pumps off because the noise that the water makes going over the edge into the drain is too noisy for the cameras. So Shin has told me. Fortunately for us players, it makes the pool rather wavy. But everyone under the same conditions. Here we go with Lucas in the corner. Not Lucas, Dario, sorry.
In the centre with Hermida at the moment. And there has been a foul against the Wolves, so Tigers again looking for that fast break. Wolves with Rangers at the moment. Back to Viv. Hoffmeyer. Not sure whether he's going for a long pass or a shot there, but blocked by the Wolves player. Tigers still with the ball.
Some poor shot options from yellow here, though.
Yeah, some early shots just looking a little unsettled. Maybe that's their plan of trying to catch the Wolves off guard. Or if they're just taking a little bit of time to kind of calm things down. Hoffmeyer.
Oh, 2 bars and out.
Wins the foul, but passes it off to Rike, and He misses his shot.
They
They are calling it back for the foul, though,
Wow.
even though they did play on, so that's a
That's lucky for
contentious
the
decision
yeah.
from the referees there, but the Tigers will get another chance to shoot it.
Lucky, I think, lucky.
Wolves feeling a little hard done by there.
Had advantage and hit a clear shot at goal, so
Reinders to Hoffmeyer, but Hoffmeyer's shot is blocked twice. It's still in play, though, currently with Skomrakov. Back to Reinders. Now it's with Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer passes it off to Rike. Back to Hoffmeyer in that cover position. The rest of his team is sitting inside the defence at the moment, so not a lot of cover.
Wolves just have a quite nice defence. I had a hard time trying to just get inside there. They just keep going, don't give up.
Yeah, they had an incredible work ethic for all of season 1, and arguably that's what got them their first 3 wins in a row. Just really strong defence, working constantly, and then ruthless attack from the Swiss duo, along with German Paul Suko in the first season as well.
Caesar Reed just reaching over with the pedal there. That's just about cardable offence. There's no rights to the ball whatsoever.
And there has been a
Goalie foul, I believe.
kayak tackle foul. So there is a turnover. Wolves looking to try and break quickly. But Leo Manahu just slowing things down, letting his team make their way up the field so that they can attack as one. As a pack, as it were.
Yeah, it's a pack of wolves, and they're sort of taking their time. They're waiting for the offense to sort of at least do something a bit more structured, a bit more patient.
Hamida, Manahu, over to Stern. Stern's met by Rike though and stopped. Back over to Hamida. Takes the shot, but it is off the bar. Drops for Hoffmeyer.
It's a well-weighted shot. The Tigers are slowing things down now. Maybe a bit of composure is what needed.
Now with the captain Hoffmeyer, just trying to feed the ball in, but
You could see on
unfortunately
his
Wei
face,
Chen,
yeah.
Wei Chen was not looking. Shot comes from Rike. It's out for a corner.
Didn't have much options to go with there. Had to get rid of it. Otherwise he was in serious trouble.
Now it's Skomrakov. Early shot is over the bar, so it will be a goalie ball for the Wolves.
I don't understand this sort of stuff. Tigers lazy to get back.
Excellent goal there from number 8 for the Wolves, Leo Manahu from France.
A bit of miscommunication. What it looks like it just seems unstructured and just.
They only had two players between Manahu and the goal. Just wasn't enough to be able to move his boat before he got his shot off.
Poor option to sub as well. Just. Maybe it's the late in the evening, it's 7 o'clock here, maybe they're just getting a bit tired. Now, anyone on the Tigers just seems to be putting up shots. Just finding Wolves' pedals in the way.
We do know that Tim Rike does love to shoot, though. He did take 30 shots last season.
30 shots.
He did get 9 goals out of it, though, so he has earned his right to take those shots. But he does need to probably put a few more in
And his
there,
right
though.
to take shots. Those sort of shots? Possibly not.
As Alex Lowen said earlier, polo is 90% confidence, but sometimes confidence is mixed a little bit with ego. And that pass inside just
Tipped by pedal.
tipped by paddle, not making reaching its final destination, and the Wolves still have the ball.
Adam Lates decided to go to goal. It's going to cost them, I think.
Oh, unlucky there from Scissory, just off the top bar. He had caught Adam
In limbo.
In no man's land, indecisive as to whether to take the player or go back to goal, and both weren't covered. Tigers lucky that they weren't punished there.
Indeed. All right, should be 2-0, but that's sport.
Cheeky little
That was optimistic.
attempt there from Hamida. Easily blocked.
Easily blocked, but hey, as you said, confidence.
Games earlier today, we did see a few cheeky, easy ones go in, so worth the risk early in this game.
Turnover ball there. Feet just bounce off the boat into Way's hands
gives
from
it
the
to
Tigers.
Hoffmeyer. Excellent goal there from the captain.
Just slots it from well over half. Nice shooting. Maybe this wasn't they need just a goal to get them kick-started.
3.5 minutes left in this first half. The score are level, 1 goal each. Dario Stern down the right-hand side, switches it across the other side. Now it's in the centre. Hamida's in there. Tries to feed it through. Not sure whether that was intended for Tsu Sing or Stern. Stern collects it. Gives it back to Hamida. Over the right-hand side with Stern again. Oh, an excellent goal there from the Swiss maestro.
Well done.
Faking, looking at that inside pass, and then out the back of his hand, just whips it round. Catches Hoffmeyer off guard.
And Josh Murphy, they both got sold.
Tigers with the 1 goal lead again. Skomarakov back to Hoffmeyer. Back to Skomarakov on that right-hand side. Feeds it inside to Wei Chen, but it doesn't make it. Andreas Hug intercepts. The Wolves have the ball.
Turnover.
And again, Wolves looking for that fast break. It's with Tsu Sing now.
Underway.
He's looking at that long shot. Does try and set it in the centre to Stern. He has Tigers either side of him though. Good work from the Tigers to get back and win that ball.
I think there's a pass wider that should have gone first, and then maybe we'll have a long shot, but maybe number 10 from the Wolves just thought he had a bit more room. Letting Adam come in, this is dangerous here.
Great block there from Adrian Hamida in goals. Skomarakov down the right-hand side. His shot was well under. They have called a corner. Wolves are arguing though, they don't believe that it took a deflection.
Neither did I. I thought it was pretty out as well, but unfortunately you can't argue with the refs, but they do try. Frustration sitting in, I think, for the Tigers. They just trying to do individual things rather than together.
Dobek across, but that pass just a little loose. And Manahut does pounce on it. Now Hamida's got it. He is looking at the long shot. Gets Dolbeck to paddle up in the air. Oh, that's very unfortunate there for the Tigers. You can see Adam Hoffmeyer is very frustrated. His attempt to block it there, just knocking it into the goal. That replay showing that had he not touched it, may have not made the distance, but
I think it might have. I think he just Hoffmeyer just skimmed in bottom bar, but did all the hard work to get a pedal to it. He just needed to hold on to his pedal, I think.
Wolves 2 goals up now. Skomrokov.
Still surprising that the Tigers haven't called a timeout.
Yeah, only 40 seconds left in this first half. Over the other side to Rike. Pass was a little high though, so he has to go back and get the ball. Now with Hoffmeyer, 30 seconds left. Skomrokov. Again, early shot blocked by the first defender and won by Roy Deckers for the Wolves.
Have trouble. Fast break
now with
option.
Manahu, gets it through to Stern. It's just Hoffmeyer in goals.
Well done.
Great work there from Dario Stern, captain of the Wolves.
Composure.
11
waited.
seconds left on the clock and the Wolves get their 4th. So they go out to a 4-1 lead in this first half.
Just puts it far bar. Lovely work. Have a timeout, I believe.
So yes, Hoffmeyer's called a timeout, 11 seconds left.
The Wolves will be pretty happy where they are now.
Yeah, you can see Dario Stern just letting in a little bit of a smile there. He'd be very happy with his team's performance.
Yeah. Tigers looking a little deflated, I think.
Yeah, they just don't seem to be on the same wavelength.
There's no sort of team cohesion. They just need to get a bit of composure. They'll be looking to use this last 11 seconds to get one goal in, just to give them a bit more juice in the tank for the second half. A bit more belief. As we all saw earlier, not all maybe, but us, Commandos came back really, really strong. Now 4 goals down against the Tigers, and they came back only just to lose by 1. It's a clear plan here, I think.
Over to Skomrokov in the centre. Oh, the shot is blocked. Unlucky there for Lucas Reinders, and that is the end of the first half. So great performance there from the Wolves, going out to a 4-1 lead against the leader Tigers.
Great work, indeed. Be an interesting conversation to have with the Tigers they have.
right, the second half about to get underway. Both teams hopefully have had some positive talks. Hoffmeyer for the Tigers just talking to his team, getting them to settle down, not take any risky chances, take the full 60 seconds of that shot clock as well. The Wolves will be happy with that first half performance and looking to continue that into the second half.
Red flag there for a little bit, but he was lucky to get it back before the whistle went.
Great work there from Tim Riquet for the Tigers to win that charge start.
Loose ball. Nice and cleaned up by Tim there.
To Hoffmeyer over to Skomrakov. He's got plenty of space
Nice
and
goal.
gets the goal.
That's what they needed.
Great play there from the Tigers. Had 3 of the Wolves defenders on the opposite side. Vladislav just easily paddling through.
Wolves were a bit looser then. That gave the Tigers a bit more space just to move around. I think it was.
Hamida. Zusing. Back to Hamida. Stern's driving on the other side, gets the ball. Back to Hamida, who's going down the centre now. But the shot is blocked out. Great work there from Lucas Reinders. Hoffmeyer getting a touch on that as well. McBay with the corner. Zusing over to Stern. Opposite side to Hamida.
Oh, lovely
Sent
feed
through
to David.
McBay, nice work, but shot blocked by Hoffmeyer and nicely kept in as
We're
well.
away, I think they got numbers.
Skomrakov sending it down the other side. Now with Reinders,
Oh, lucky.
unfortunately off that top bar and bounces for the Wolves. Immediately goes back down the other end. Hogan Hoffmeyer
Adam Hoffmeyer looking at that.
just not happy about Andreas trying to reach over his boat to get the ball.
Rightly so, it should have been called, but
Skomrakov fighting to get that shot off, but out for the corner. Taking a little deflection off Dario Stern in defence. Skomrakov feeds it into Wei Chen to Hoffmeyer.
well wide. No deflection.
No, I think it was. I think it did have a deflection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a little one, but that's all it needs. Hoffmeyer over the other side to Riquet. Back to Hoffmeyer. They do have a play on advantage from a foul with Skomrakov. Oh, an excellent goal there from the Russian. Just looks to his side to Wei Chen like he's going to feed the ball, and no look shot.
He's potent, isn't he? Just deadly. Give him a sniff and he'll take it.
That takes his goal tally to 4 for this season.
I've had 4 shots and no goals.
If you add that to the 15 goals that he scored last season, he is the top goal scorer with 19 at the moment. Incredible effort. Ball with Hamida for the Wolves. Over to Manahoud. Across to Salamanik. Back into the centre for Manahoud. He sees Cesare charging down that left. Feeds it inside to Hook. Oh,
big bar.
unlucky there on the bottom bar. It did look like he had Hoffmeyer beat though, so unfortunate that he didn't get that in. Reinders putting it through to the Skomrokov, but the shot is blocked out for a corner. Tigers looking to work their way back into this game. They've done very well in the 3 minutes of this half that have occurred. Rike back to Reinders, back to Hoffmeyer. Gets it in.
Wolves looking a little bit more looser than defence. I think it works better a little bit tighter.
Over to Skomrokov. Feeds it into Vivian. Lob shot over to Rike, but he's closed down quickly by the Wolves, so it's back out again. 15 seconds left on the shot clock, so they should take it quickly. 10 seconds now. Hoffmeyer with the long shot. Was not on target though.
Poor
Loose
lob.
pass from the Wolves. Falls to Rike.
Oh, lovely bottom bar in Tim.
Dealing out a bit of a punishment there, the German. It's a very poor pass from the Wolves, just
Costly.
putting it into the water right in front of goal.
For all.
So Tigers 3 goals in the second half to draw things back level.
Give them the confidence for sure. It's a ball game now though. The more blocks Hoffmeyer gets, the more confident he'll get as well. So we're in for an interesting 5 minutes, I think. Another interesting game.
Susing to Manahoot to Stern. Stern with the fast shot, but blocks and Susing's follow-up off the bottom bar with no deflection, so it will be a Tigers ball now.
It's quite a nice shot. Very casual, just everything bit but the bar. Tigers taking their time just to try and work something.
Hoffmeyer getting Reinders to head inside as well. Skomrokov being blocked. Sends it over the other side to Rike.
Oh, golly.
Excellent goal there from the German. Tim Rike just
Wow.
catching the ball on his paddle and flicking it in. Superb goal there.
Superb. That is some skill for sure. That is.
Great way to take the lead for his team. He has done quite a number of those in training games,
Yeah.
so it's nice to see him execute it in one of the CPSL games as well. Over the right-hand side with Stern. Back out with Manahoot. Stern. Hook. Back to Stern. Lobs it to the left-hand side. Manahoot. Back into the centre to Hook. Stern on the other side, so great switch of play there.
It was lovely pass.
Trying to catch the Tigers off guard. Gets in the centre to Susing, but great work there from
Josh Viv.
Vivian to win that loose ball. Now with Reinders. He's looking at the long shot. Oh, unfortunately, just short and wide.
Disappointed with himself. He had other options as well. I think they had numbers.
Three and a half minutes left in this game. Tigers up by 1. Loose pass there from the Wolves. Tigers choosing not to press out on it. Stern over the other side. Switching back again.
Some nice passing by the Wolves. It's all passing to hands, just keep moving it around. Makes them very threatening.
Just changing things up, switching from side to side to move the defense around. Hook with the shot, but it does fall kindly for the Tigers, and Reinders gets the ball. He's racing up that left-hand side. He's only got one player in front of him though, everyone else was caught in defense. So they've chosen to bring it up as a team. Vivian to Rike.
The Wolves are pressing, I think, half pressing anyway.
To Reinders. Potentially looks like the Wolves have moved to a chasing 2-2 or maybe even 4 out.
Oh, it's hard to see from here.
No, they have gone.
No,
they've gone all out, full press. Oh, unlucky there from Lucas Reinders. Just open goal, but puts it under. Was being pressed by the Wolves player though, so would have been a bit of a challenge. But
just the wrong angle, I think, as he let it go.
The Wolves would have watched the previous game and seen that the Tigers did struggle against the Commandos' full press. So smart move from them to execute the same tactic against them in this game.
Possibly just slightly late, I think.
Now it's Stern. Romida. Over to Salmonik. He's looking for the shot.
Turns it down.
Back over to Stern. Early shot. Deflected over by Hoffmeyer. Will be your corner. Just over a minute left in this game. Tigers still up by 1 goal.
Oh, leaves it behind. He'll be gutted.
Unfortunate there from Stern to just lose possession. Tim Rike with the long shot, and it's in. Great work there from the German. So
hat trick for Tim.
it's 3rd goal for the game. 3 very different goals as well.
Indeed.
Great variety there. Hamida switches it over the other side to Stern. Stern with the early shot. In, then feeds it inside to Hook. Lots of paddles in the air, but Hook does get the goal.
Brings it back to 1. We all know that the Wolves can be dangerous down by 1.
40 seconds left. They're going for the full press now. Hoffmeyer and Rike just content to pass the ball between the two of them. Wolves struggling to get round to, they're just putting it back and forth, sends it up to Wei Chen. Great pressure there from the Wolves, but he does get the ball off. Now with Reinders, 3, 2, 1. And that is the game.
That's how we should have done it too.
So, another narrow win for the Tigers, but they do get another 3 points. Both games ending with a bit of cat and mouse of just running the ball around the field away from the Wolves, making them chase after it.
Indeed.
But it has got them the 2 wins for the day, so great work there from the leader Tigers. Unfortunate for the Wolves, just didn't have that little bit extra to get a result. You can see Roy Decker's just a little frustrated, but
yeah,
good performance from both teams.
Indeed. Thank you, Jade.
Thank you, Anthony.
Not too sure what my replacement was, but never mind.
在这里，用爱斩破明天，用奥体精神突破极限，用极致美学创造时代。宁波奥体中心，源于热爱，见证精彩。
Our second game getting underway for this session. We have the Judicial Commandos taking on the Yonhan Blue Helmets. So both these teams in their first games earlier today just coming out to narrow defeats against their opposition, letting in a few too many goals in the first half, but having excellent performances in the second half to chase the game. A few goals down, Blue Helmets were 3 goals down, Commandos were 4 goals down, but bringing you back and fighting and being only 1 down with a minute or so left and chasing for that equalising goal, but just unable to make it. The Blue Helmets are sitting 4th at the moment, so they are qualifying for the finals. The Commandos are 5 points behind them, so the Commandos, this is very much a do or die game for them. They have to get a result from this, especially against the Blue Helmets, because that will narrow the margin to 2. And they'll be able to chase that over the remaining games. Introducing the players for the teams now. For the Blue Helmets, number 1 from France, David Blayor. Number 3, also from France, Valentin Gori. Number 4 from Italy, Tommaso Ricciardi. Number 6 from Germany, Patrick Lawrence. Number 7 from Singapore, Lee Sing Fu. Number 8 for Australia, Stephen Hubbard. Number 9 from Spain, Ivan Hoyofuentes. And the captain of the Blue Helmets from New Zealand, number 10, Alex Lowen. For the Commandos, number 3 from China, Zhuo Shen. Getting a very big response from the crowd. Number 4 from Spain, Alejandro Valls. Number 5 from Australia, Anton Holmes. Number 7 from Russia, Igor Zandarov. Number 8 from Germany, Mario Kuppers. Number 9 from England and captain of the Commandos, Ed Lart. Number 10 does say from France, he is from Germany, Holger Diedrichs. And from France, number 11, Mathieu Lelalliot. The referees for this game from Chinese Taipei, Chen Shenghua. And Stephen Watts from Great Britain. So both their teams getting into their warm-ups now. thank you to all the sponsors for the CPSL. Great to see so many people supporting this competition and canoe polo throughout the world. So Blue Helmets not having the best game earlier today. They didn't look settled for the first half. They do have a few new players, but they had created some incredibly fine form in the second half of the first season. They'll hopefully be looking to get back to that for this game. Patrick Lawrence there, number 6 for the Blue Helmets. Scored some impressive goals earlier today and a lot in the first season as well. Ed Lart, captain for the Commandos, looking for a bit of redemption after missing that shot at the very end of the game that could have equalised it for them.
So this is the big one, isn't it? The big one this evening. This game has a lot of permutations for the 3 bottom teams, the Blues, the Reds, and the Bulls. If the Blues manage to win this game, then it makes it pretty much impossible, or it does make it impossible for the bottom placed team currently, the Bulls, to catch up with them. Remember, the bottom 2 teams play off for 5th, 6th. It's only the top 4 that go through the semi-final in the CPSL. So for the Reds to stay in it, they have to win this game. This is a must-win game for the Commandos. And if the Blues win it, then the Bulls are out of the competition. Their draw earlier today against the Wolves only leaves them with a very, very thin chance, reliant on quite a few other results to get through. That's the Bulls.
Both teams with some final words before this game gets underway.
Yeah, very contrasting styles, these teams. Commandos have got quite a few large, powerful players. Like to try and work the ball onto the inside or get under players and drive them to work the shot. Comparatively, the Blue Helmets are a team built on speed. Very fast on the break. Lots of smaller but fast players who will punish you for any mistake that you make.
Definitely looking to keep out that duo of Holger Diedrichs and Mario Hippos from Germany. Very big players, and once they're inside the screens that they set, and also the goal shooting threats that they pose.
Yeah, and they open up so much space for Alejandro Valves in particular, from Spain, very fast, continuously moving to work in. Alejandro was top on assists after the first round, mostly feeding the ball back to to Mario Hippos in the first round, who was in the top 5 shooters. So all ready to go here. And it's Ivan Fuentes up against. Ooh, what's happened?
Looks like a bit of confusion from the Commandos that they and very fast play there from the Blue Helmets. So Commandos, just a bit of confusion as to who would take the charge start, and no one went.
Igor saved them there, managed to get the ball back from the fumble under the center of the goal. It's better to have no one go in this than someone go too fast and get a yellow card.
Anton's shot just going wide there. He just slipped out of the side of his hand a little bit just to get it off target.
He had very little angle there to shoot. I'm not sure if he was trying to shoot or maybe pass, but it certainly didn't go where it wanted it to. So the early goal is going to be really decisive in this game. This is a tense game for both teams. They know the weight that's on this game. They know the importance. Commandos will be wanting to show a much better showing than the first half than they had in their first game in particular. Start strong. Moving it down the pitch nicely here.
Holmes
Essentially-
gives it to Coopers. Coopers' shot. Oh, great block there from the Blue Helmets defence. Good play from the Commandos though, working the ball up the field quickly, switching sides.
Yeah, and I think if he moved that ball across the other side, as his teammate was telling him afterwards, then all of the Blue Helmets players were over one side. That's a really, really cheeky goal there.
Great work there from
That's a horrible goal to concede.
the Aussie.
You can see the pain etched over Ivan's face there, that he didn't read that one.
Balls with Blale.
So Commandos make that start, they get the 1 goal in. They'll be hoping for a really solid defence now. Corner's been given. So it looks as though the Commandos have set up with a relatively open 3-1 defence. Interestingly, the Helmets have opted to put 2 players inside and 3 on the outside. Might have expected them, given the size difference, to go with a 4-person out approach and try and move the players around a lot more with speed. Some clear frustration there. Oh, is that going to just drop for a corner? Blue Helmet's very lucky to get the ball back there.
Oh, Lawrence's shot just wide and a little bit over, so unfortunate there from the German.
Yeah, some clear early signs of frustration on the Blue Helmets team. David Bleo not getting the pass back on one side that he wanted. And an uncharacteristic shot from Patrick Lawrence.
Val's down that left-hand side, sends it back into the centre to Holmes.
Commandos putting their 2 big players on the inside early on.
Finds Coopers, but his shot is under the bar.
And I think he shot early there again. There was an option coming. Take the opportunity to work off a few of these larger players when they get the ball in, rather than take the shot first time, Reds.
So that was a long shot there from the Blue Helmets, trying to catch the Commandos off guard and put it in the open goal, but just wide. Ball's back with the Commandos.
First couple of subs of the game as well. So Qiu Shen from China and Ed Lart from Great Britain are now both on the pitch.
Ball's with Lard at the moment.
Holger Diedrich working really hard in defence there, making Patrick Lawrence's life miserable on the Blue Helmets. Friends from Germany, they'll be enjoying that personal tussle.
Great block there from the captain of the Blue Helmets, Alex Long.
Blue Helmets are playing a 2-2 defence, so really trying to block the ball moving around the back.
Ed Lart just feeding it round to Diedrich.
Yeah, careful, patient play. They've got plenty of time. They've got that 1-0 lead as well, so I think it's been a while since, well, Commandos did go 1-0 up this morning in the first game, didn't they? But this is the first time I've really seen them try and put some plays together, use their time on the ball, put the other team under pressure.
And a little turnover there.
Yeah, commentator's curse, I think.
Blue Helmets with it now. Alex Long, captain, just showing his team that he wants to bring it up slowly and work as a team in that attack. Ricciardi down the centre, feeds it across to Lowen.
Lowen calling for a paddle foul in the middle there. I think he is probably right to feel aggrieved.
Diedrich sending it onto the right-hand side to Coopers. Long shot through to Val's. Shot deflected, but
I think there's a foul here, potentially a penalty as well. It's a green card, I think so. He pushed on the arm of the shooter there. Referee's also suggesting that he might have got part of the body as well. We'll have to see the replay there.
Stevens' arm singles look like it's had a handful of his jacket as he pushed him.
I think it may have been a foul before the push. Certainly if that foul was during the push and during the shot, you'd expect to see a penalty given. So I think it's unlikely that was what the foul was given for. Anyway, the Commandos still have the ball just under the 5-minute mark, so the first quarter of the game gone, and as we probably expected, this is a really, really tight affair between these two teams.
Right-hand side with Coopers at the moment. Strong goal there from the German. Commandos taking a 2-0 lead. 5 minutes down in this first half.
Yeah, and that's a threat Coopers poses every time he's on the ball. So Blue Helmets need to put that frustration to one side and find a way back into this game.
Bogo Fuentes paddling round Hubbard. Runs out of space, so he sends it back to Ricciardi. With the keeper, with the captain Lowen. Back to Tommaso. Strong shot there from the Italian, but it's blocked out for a corner.
Yeah, so 3 of these Blue Helmets players currently on the pitch are new players this season. So quite a substantial number of their team have been added. Only the second game they've obviously played with each other this season, aside from the training games.
Bogo Fuentes, Ricciardi.
Yeah, and the Helmets are just getting no change on the inside of the zone there.
Feeds the ball into Lowen.
Yeah, Lowen had 3 or 4 paddles in his face there. No option but to bring the ball back out.
20 seconds left on this shot clock.
Yeah, and the Helmets have now gone to 1 man in and 4 out, but I think this shot...
Feeds it inside to Ricciardi. There is a foul there.
Is that knocked out by the paddle or by the hand? If it was the hand, he'll claim it was clean, but against the action of the shoulder. It's another strong call for foul in the act of shooting.
Blair just making his way in, but
Yeah,
shot just wide, just trying to put a little looped ball over the keeper, but slightly to the right-hand side.
So 3 minutes, 2-0 to the Commandos. See if they can keep it composed and not rush it again. They'll be really happy with this start. Probably particularly happy to see how frustrated the Blue Helmets look when they're coming in attack. Using this time nicely. Quite happy to reset with 30 seconds still on the clock.
Great goal there from Alejandro Valls and an excellent screen from Igor Zandarov, giving him the space to get through for the shot. So Commandos making it 3-0. And the Blue Helmets have called their timeout for this half.
So a bit of a surprise, this size of lead now. Commandos will be really happy.
Lowen, captain there, just talking to his team. And they just need to work that little bit harder in defence against those players that are much heavier.
Yeah, the goals they've conceded haven't looked particularly strong on the replay. They're just losing out space to those big players from the Commandos.
That's the minute up, so both teams will get ready to resume play. 2 minutes 26 on the clock. Blue Helmets in possession.
Yeah, it's a lot to talk about there for the Blue Helmets because they need to change things up in both attack and defence. They're leaking a little at the back and not getting anything in attack. So let's see if they change formation at all. They played most of that first half with 2 men in. Only switching to 4 at the back towards the end. Looks like they've gone back to 2 men in.
Fuentes with the drive down the left, but sends it back to Lawrence. The shot's blocked out for a corner.
And Tommaso Riccardi there just going around the back, trying to find some space by catching the players off guard. Didn't work out for him. It's a little more speed on the ball there.
Oh, unlucky from the shot from Hoyo Fuentes, just off the bar.
Does he manage to keep that in? He does.
Great work there from Valentin Gori. Over the other side to Lowen.
There's space on this side, if he can feed it past.
Shot.
Edlart did well there to cover both the shot and the pass at the same time. If Lowen had given the ball slightly earlier, there was an opportunity.
Strong shot there from Lawrence, but good deflection from the Commandos.
Yeah, and a little bit more frustration again from the Helmets. Ivan Fuentes frustrated at Patrick shooting that. There were 2 men on his left-hand side who were moving into really good positions.
Captain Long with the shot, but straight into the paddle of the defender, and the Commandos get the ball.
Yeah, and you felt like Lowen was taking that ball in. It was never going to get past inside. So just a little bit of each of the Blue Helmets players taking it on themselves to make the difference. This is a big moment in the game.
He was under off. Great block there from Valentin Gori for the Blue Helmets.
You see what it meant to him as well. Big celebration. The ball was still live though, is still live. 39 seconds on the clock, so Commandos should get one more opportunity in this game. The Blue Helmets are falling back in. Just putting a lot of pressure on at the moment. No foul given there for that push, which was clean, so...
Blue Helmets looking for that fast break. There's 15 seconds left on the clock. Lawrence gives it to Gori. Gori to the other side to Hoyo Fuentes. Oh, goes for the slow shot, and it does not pay off. Commandos put the ball out for a corner.
Oh, will he regret that? It was a big decision to go for the slow shot, try and catch the goalkeeper out, but that didn't have enough height or slow enough. That's a simple save in the end for Anton Holmes.
And the follow-up shot there from Hoyo Fuentes.
Yeah,
into the side netting.
He had to take that quickly. Clock was running out, so I think we're very, very close to half-time. That is half-time now, so there must have been seconds left on the clock after that last shot. So 3-0 to the Commandos at half-time.
Not the performance the Blue Helmets would have wanted to keep their 4th place on the ladder.
This game is far from over though.
强者做将，破局先生，威马 EX5 Pro Always On， 全力以赴。
both teams lining up for the charge start for the second half. Blue Helmets looking to get back into this game. They had a very strong performance in the second half in their first game. Look if they can replicate that now.
Yeah, Lee Xingfu got to that ball first, but Alejandro Valls kept the speed up, managed to use it to his advantage and get the first possession of the game. So Commandos will be looking at this as 10 opportunities to shoot, 10 opportunities to hold down the clock. Oh. Crowd are loving that here. The home player.
Chushen.
It's a great finish. He had one like that today from the right-hand side as well. Would have been fairly criminal if he'd missed that or forced a save, because they were 3-0 up with plenty of time on the clock, but as it is, he scored it, and now they're 4, so Helmets already having to try and force things, and there's a break on here. This could be trouble. Holger Diedrich just took his eye off the ball for half a second there, and he came back to it. Had to pick it up with his paddles. Oh.
Fuentes deciding against it. The angle had been closed down, so ball's back out.
Blue Helmets.
On the right-hand side with Lawrence. Back to Hoy Fuentes. Back over, so just switching the play now. Blayo's in that cover role as well. Fuentes looking at whether to shoot or to...
Oh, that's so unlucky.
Unlucky there for the Blue Helmets. Ball landing on the back of Stephen Hubbard's boat. David Blayo just missing it, but great work there from the German Patrick Lawrence to...
Yeah, and that's 2 situations he's got them back out of, because that was another 3-on-1 situation. If that pass from the back had been slightly more accurate, or really anywhere else in the water, they were away there for the 5th. So Blue Helmets really living on the edge at the moment.
Back to Lawrence. David Blayo's on the left-hand side now. Hoya Fuentes is playing inside. Loose from the German, but he does flick the ball onto Hubbard. Over to the right-hand side to Blayo. Again, Blue Helmets opting for that slow change-up shot, but again, it doesn't pay off.
Yeah, again too low, too easy for Anton Holmes to read and pick up.
Diedrich gives the ball up.
Has he got it? It's still there. He's looking. Oh.
But couldn't get the ball when he came back up.
That was another massive opportunity.
Out.
So preparing for the final game at the moment, there will be some very happy Bulls players when they hear this score. They do need a significant number of results to go their way, but this is the first one.
Hoya Fuentes with the clutch shot right on the line. Does win the corner though. It's about the most that he can expect in that kind of setting. A loose pass there, but great work from Gori to race over and make sure the Blue Helmets keep the ball. Early shot from Lawrence, deflected out by the first paddle.
So 4-0, 6 minutes left. It's the kind of game where that first goal for the Blues really could start to unlock the door. Swing the confidence of these players. Right now the Commandos look really comfortable in defence though. Another one born from frustration. I think by the time he got the ball in there, it wasn't on. And another break. Snaffled out early by the Blues. Goes for the lob.
Great work there from Valentin Gori. Commandos will be a bit frustrated with that. They had excellent defense. They got the block down. Their players started for that fast break, but just weren't looking for the ball. And the Blue Helmets were able to pick up on it. And Alejandro Valls for the Commandos has called a timeout for his team.
5.5 minutes still to go. Commandos will be really frustrated because they had 3 opportunities there, 3 really clear opportunities if the pass had come out the back to a player rather than to Water to get away and get the 5th goal, even the 6th and 7th. So as it happens, one of those times has led to the Blues floating one in from distance and giving them a hold in this game to start working upon. Yeah, Commandos just saying, calm it down a bit, don't rush the ball out from the back. There's no need to keep giving them these opportunities and giving them the ball back. And make sure they use their time in attack as well. So, Blue Helmets lining up, looking like they're going to play either 5 or 4 out with a keeper in.
So they have decided to play 4 out. Now that the ball's in play, they may bring that 5th as well.
Yeah, ball's nice and far up the pitch, so keeper can easily come back out. So
Igor Zandrov just caught a little bit alone there. Does get the ball to Holmes, but it is loose.
Shots there.
Tomaso's only got 1 paddle, and nicely done.
That is
Great goal there to get another one back. So the press paying off.
And that whole conversation in that timeout will have been about keeping calm under pressure. So they're now looking to their really experienced players to trying to pass it up there to the anchor, to Coopers. Smart.
Lowen has come out with them, so they are 5 out at the moment.
They get the ball that far up the pitch, and they know if they lose it, they're in less trouble. Half a chance there for Alejandro, but
Stephen just sprinting back to cover goals, but immediately is then racing back to his player, so they are committing to this 5 out. And it is paying off. Commandos just looking around, trying to find someone that's free, and again they've lost the ball, dropping for Hoya Fuentes.
is there a break on here?
Sends it down the left-hand side to Hubbard. He's got space.
Hubbard
The goal is open. He's looking at another player though.
Yeah, Holmes back in now. This is still on.
So great work there for the Blue Helmets to win the ball back.
Ooh. I think that is unintentional, quite unlucky. Ivan Fuentes also catching a paddle to the face in the process. But I think the bumper to the face will outweigh that. No card given. So they look to the anchor again. Don't think there's any better anchor player to choose from than Mario Coopers.
Well, and Alejandro has got free. Excellent work there from Hoya Fuentes to get the block in.
Wow, with 3.5 minutes left, what a difference that would have made. 3 goals up. He has to finish that opportunity. Ivan has snatched that one from the jaws. Quite like to see a replay of that. Seemed like it was very, very close, but both referees happy with it. Lowen pass it over the top.
Now with Lawrence very close to the baseline, so he sends it to Gori. Gori to Ricciardi. Looking for the space, but it's blocked out.
Time now ticking away for the Blue Helmets. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. 2 goals required to draw it up. You can see the Bulls and the Hippos warming up behind us from the commentary position here.
Great shot there from Ricciardi, but blocked out again. Blue Helmets with another corner, 2.5 minutes left.
Very sporting from Anton Holmes there to say that that was a corner. Just waiting for, yeah, call's been changed. So it's very good to see. This is a tight game, so impressive to see that. Hopefully he won't regret it. Good ball control.
Another good block there. Nice to see a higher intensity from the Blue Helmets though.
Commandos are really putting the graft in the zone there now. It's really ferocious in there.
An excellent goal there from number 6, Patrick Lawrence for the Blue Helmets.
He had 4 paddles to work through there. Still managed to find a gap. May have actually gone right down the middle. Foul's been called. I think it's probably obstruction.
And
Waiting to
it is
see.
a yellow card, so it does look like that he did not cross the halfway line before he attacked that ball. So Blue Helmets going down to 4 players for essentially the rest of the game. He will not be allowed back on until the final 5 seconds of the game.
Yes, just to explain there, if a goal has been scored, the ball restarts from halfway, but no opponent can play the ball after the restart unless they have also crossed the halfway line. So we didn't see that in shot, but that must have been what happened. So the Blue Helmets really need a bit of a miracle now to be able to draw up this game. Oh, off the bar. They've got to keep it in. They do manage it.
They do win the ball. Commandos will press them 4 out though because they do have that player advantage.
Foul's been called. The kayak tackle. So there are spaces here. Only 1 goal in the game. Commandos not taking the risk of pushing 4. Setting up a full zone. Still sticking with 3-1. They know how difficult it will be. It's been difficult for the 5 players of the Blue Helmets to find a gap here to score. So really asking the question of them.
Really unlucky there for Alex Lowen to just hit the outside of that bar.
He's got to get that on target if he's going to go for it. It's a big shout to shoot from that far out with so little time left on the clock.
And it does look like, unfortunately,
Time is out here.
they've called a timeout, but it does look like Blue Helmets are getting a foul against them.
Okay, so I think the referees are going to have a discussion about this. I think there was a foul or a goal throw to be taken, and Anton Holmes was moving the ball around to show that he didn't have the space that he wanted to be able to take the foul. Was able to push the ball into the paddle of the opposing player. Referee determining that he was impeding the player from taking the start.
The interesting thing here is it is within the last 2 minutes of the game, so if there is a card, then it will be a yellow. So the Blue Helmets may go down to 3 players.
Last minute of the game, yeah.
And it is a yellow card for Ivan Hoyofuentes. Usually that is a straight green card for obstructing someone that is taking the ball back into play, but because it is in the last 2 minutes, it is a straight yellow. So Blue Helmets down to 3 players. With less than a minute left, the Commandos, all they have to do is just pass the ball between themselves, and they have the win.
Yeah, and if you thought the Commandos had to convert the win after the first yellow card, then something really, really drastic would have to happen in these last 40 seconds.
The Blue Helmets do have to just chase that ball, even though it leaves their goal open. There's not a lot that they can do. It looks like they will get most likely scored upon, but they do have to press as hard as they can.
Yeah, every one of the Commandos players just happy to hold on to the ball for a bit, draw a player, pass it off again.
They don't even have to score, they just have to pass the ball around.
It's a horrible situation for the 3 players who are still on the pitch. Not done anything wrong.
It's not the best for us to watch as well, but
being made to chase shadows. Well, it's of their own making.
Yep.
Discipline is a big part of the game.
And they do want that win if they do want any chance. And they do also get the goal on the buzzer as well, just to rub salt into that wound. So the Commandos have got their win against the Blue Helmets, reducing that difference between 5th and 4th place to only 2 points.
I think there's time for the restart, but the seconds on it, and it will be meaningless. It's a good effort, it's on target, but that is game over. Commandos get the win.
Blue Helmets just losing composure in that second half. 2 yellow cards for 2 very, very silly errors from players.
I think the Commandos will be really pleased with that. Creaked slightly in the second half, but managed to gain their composure and see out the game. Good win for the Commandos. It's a disappointment for the Blue Helmets.
They do have that 2-point lead though, so if they get some results, they will still make finals. And we'll be back very shortly for our 3rd and final game.
是什么让心灵交融？是什么让毅力坚定？是什么让情感迸发？是旗帜的美学，是奥体的精神，是无私的关怀。在这里，用爱斩获明天，用奥体精神突破极限，用极致美学创造时代。宁波奥体中心，源于热爱，见证精彩。
And our 3rd and final game for the day and the evening session. Caton Hippos taking on the Jijawa Bulls. Hippos having a narrow win in their game earlier today, and the Bulls robbed at the death of their first win for the 2019 CPSL. They'll be looking to have another strong performance in this game, but this one with the result at the end. players just entering the water. We'll be introducing them shortly. Number 1 from Singapore for the Jinzhou Bulls, Po Yujuan. Number 4, Stivo Hergele from the Netherlands. Number 5, Jeremy Escaf from France. Number 7 from Italy, Gianmarco Emanuele. From Russia, Vladimir Satdarov. Number 10, and the captain from New Zealand, Anthony Barrenson-Benui. And 11 from Spain, Vicente Claramonte. Apologies, I do believe Claramonte and the others' nationalities are the wrong way around. Number 1 from Hungary for the Hippos, Miklos Timmer. Number 2 from Poland, Lucas Pilas. From New Zealand, number 3, Cole Hawkins. Number 4 from Spain, Angel Gordo Herrero. Number 5 from Russia, Ivan Debeli. Number 8 from the Netherlands, Tjerk Webers. And number 11 from Australia, Luke Holmes. Our referees for this game, Alan Winter from Wales. And Tichi Liu from Chinese Taipei. Once again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors for CPSL 2019. It's a great opportunity to showcase our sport, hosting players from nearly all the continents. A little bit too much ice to play polo in Antarctica. Great to see the new players for Season 2 settling into these two teams. Gianmarco for the Bulls, 3 goals in the previous game. Angel Gordo Herrero for the Hippos, 3 goals as well. crowd for these evening's games as well. So the Bulls will be happy with the result from the last game. With the Blue Helmets losing, it does mean that they do have a chance at making finals. They do have to get a result from this game though. However, someone that isn't too happy about the result from the previous game, I have number 8 for the Blue Helmets with me, Stephen Hubbard.
How you going, Jade?
Bit disappointing there.
Yeah, no, it's not the result we're after. It's twice we've gone into the second half with a bit of an uphill battle, but had a good fight towards the end. Press came out, got a bowl back, but unfortunately 2 yellow cards makes it difficult to break that deficit.
Yeah, that initially that press was working really well, getting those turnovers, getting a goal, but Tommaso just not paddling back to halfway before engaging, and then Ivan the same, just pressing that ball that was out of play.
Yeah, no, that's a really tough one. You don't have that physical line. He got a little bit too eager, would have thought he was over and just got straight into it and cost us a yellow.
Yeah, really unfortunate there, but you do have 2 points on the Commandos. You're still in the 4th place, still on track for finals.
Yep, things to improve on. Got some more games to go, so we'll see if we can still get that result and still make it to playoffs.
All right, this game is about to get underway. Both teams lining up for the charge start.
Who's your pick for this game?
I think it's a tough one. I think Bulls felt very robbed after that game earlier today. Will be fighting as hard as they can for any possibility of making finals. As shown by the passion in that charge start.
That's a big charge start from Ivan.
Yeah, Gianmarco Manuel at the receiving end of Jabelier on top of him, but he wins the free, and they will start with the ball. Hippos not looking as sharp as they have been in their previous game, making quite a few errors that were punished at times, so hopefully the Bulls can do the same in this game. Any mistake that they make, they try and turn into a goal for them.
Yeah, there's definitely some big shooters on both teams. We saw from the last game from Orange, some pretty high number of shots from the players not converting into goals. We'll see if it'll change straight away.
Excellent there from Stigvo Hergele from the Netherlands, number 4 for the Bulls. First goal within the first minute. Great start there, that's exactly what they'll want. Just round Luke Holmes's paddle.
That momentum coming into the first half, getting that first goal makes a very big difference on the water. Putting that other team on the back foot, especially in some of these games where it's very much a trade for trade goal game.
Gordo Herrero just passing that ball out, the shot wasn't on.
See Bulls, another team playing a 2-2 defense, whereas a little bit against the traditional 1-3-1 that most teams are playing.
I think that captain, Cuppy, will definitely be making that a decision to start with that, to bring that aggression out onto the Hippos, especially because a lot of the Hippos' attack comes from those big drives from their best players, as seen there with the goal to number 1 Mikros Timar, just driving down the centre and getting that shot off.
I think one of the weaknesses of the 2-2, unfortunately, if those top 2 players go a little bit too wide, it makes a big opening for that centre drive, as Miklos just showed.
Hergele just waiting for his inside players to create a screen, and we do have one there. Claramonte's got some space on the right-hand side, and he gets the goal. Nice work there. Great screen from his teammate. I believe it was Satarov. So good response from the Bulls to get that lead again. Only 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes gone in this game. We've already got 3 goals, so we hope that that will continue. We now have 4 goals. hoping that this will be a nice and exciting game with lots of goals throughout the game. Great goal there for Gordo Herrero. Just round the paddle of Emanuele and into the top corner.
You might
Shot blocked there, falling to the Hippos, so a bit of a turnover.
You might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but Hippos are through to the playoffs now, regardless of results from here on out.
Looks that way. With the win earlier today, doesn't look like they'll have any chance of dropping out of the top 4.
I think they might be looking to trial a few different tactics in these coming games as sort of free training games for them now they're through.
Those of you following us on Facebook may have seen that the prizes that the top teams get, that badass gangster ring. I think everyone's very keen to get their hands on that, or get it on their hands.
It's a nice little change from the previous 2. We had a cup in the last 2, and now we're going to little Super Bowl style play rings. Be an interesting little change.
With everyone coming from different places around the world, trying to share a trophy is not the easiest of things, so having a little momentum that everyone can take home is a great idea.
It's a new idea to canoe polo as well. It's often trophies and medals, so a ring will be an interesting little token to take back to all the different countries, show off.
So Hawkins' goal there, disallowed. The foul had occurred beforehand. The whistle had blown. If the referee blows his whistle, they do have to take it back for the foul. They can't play advantage after the whistle's been blown. So Chuck Weber's just bringing that ball in, looking at the shot, feeds it across to Hawkins. He's got 3 paddles to get through. And it's blocked out for a corner.
I think a nice bit of sportsmanship from the Orange team, calling the tip, playing for the corner. I think the referees called a goal line. A bit of a discussion from Cole with one of the Orange Bulls players. Always good to see, and always nice to receive that in on the water as well.
Yeah, we saw Anton Holmes do that for the Commandos for you guys in the previous game. So it's nice that the sportsmanship always outweighs the result. Not always, but in CPSL it has so far.
Definitely keeps the group nice and tight if you can just make those little honesty calls when you do feel that tip on your paddle.
Weber's over to the right-hand side. Shot from Hawkins, but easily blocked by the keeper. Falls to Clarimonte, who sends Escaf. Fast break is on. Sends it across the other side to their captain. He's got 2 paddles to get through, but he gets it. And he's very happy with that goal. Bulls restore their lead, 3 goals to 2. Great work there from the New Zealand captain. Holmes taking a dribble down the left-hand side. Passes inside to Gordo Herrero. Over to Hawkins. Round to Debellier. Debellier's shot blocked out. Hippos do have the corner though. You can see Miklos Timar for the Hippos working inside, trying to set that screen against Gianmarco. Blake Holmes back to Gordo Herrero. Debellier in the center. Across to Hawkins again. Hawkins' shot, I'm not sure if it actually came out of his hand or not, but it ended up in the water right next to him.
We would have been seeing some more action from Hawkins if he thought that was a paddle foul. The Hippos getting quite trigger happy here. I think trying to squeeze out a goal in the last few minutes. And it's as simple as that. Dribble from the corner while no one's watching. Have a shot top corner.
Great work there from the Hungarian Miklos Timur. 3 goals each. Just over 4 minutes left in this first half. Unlucky there from Escaf. Shot bouncing off the bar. And Hawkins manages to win it. So Hippos do get the turnover and bring the ball down the field. Got a Herrera switch on the other side to Hawkins, but again his shot is blocked. Hawkins not having as much luck as he did in the first season. He does call the timeout now for his team. His shooting in the game earlier today, 1 goal from 6 shots. He's not going to be happy with that.
No, it's always a fun conversation to have with Hawkins. He takes pride in his shooting, and when it's those percentages are showing like that, it really gets under his skin.
It'd be more under his skin knowing that we're talking about it as well.
I'm sure there are plenty of New Zealanders back home watching this, seeing some common traits that they see at some of their local comps as well. Nah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Bulls using this opportunity to their own advantage as well. Although the Hippos called the timeout for them to have a discussion, it does give them the opportunity, Bulls that is, to have a talk about what they can improve as well. We did see the Bulls utilise timeouts in the first season very successfully, scoring a number of goals immediately after taking their timeout in attack. Check Webers across to Gordo Herrero, looking to try and feed it inside, but Escal's paddles in the way, doesn't want to risk it, so he sends it over to the left-hand side to Hawkins.
Bulls definitely looking for some of their strong inside shooters. I believe Pillar was a very big force in the previous season and even in this one still. Inside shot, he has quite a nice range of movement with that arm.
Gordo Herrero just giving away the foul there. So Bulls breaking quickly, looking for some space down the left-hand side. Poe back to Escaf. Herger lays in front. He's only got 2 paddles to get through, but it is deflected out under the bar. Doesn't look like this deflection's been picked up, so Hippos will have the ball. There was a green card given there. Fortunately, we didn't quite catch who it was for.
Looks like it was number 4, so either Ankel or Stevo in the Netherlands. I'm going to guess by the turnover it's probably for the Bulls.
Berbers giving it to DeBellier. Feeds it inside to Timur. Just loose there, but DeBellier picks it back up.
Illegal paddle foul on the inside there for the Hippos.
Weber's down that left-hand side now. Shots blocked by Poe. Does fall for Pillars, who tries to feed it up to Timur, but Hergele does pick up the ball. Tries to create some space. He is paddling with his hands because he's left his paddle behind, but does get it across to Satarov. And Pillars makes contact with Satarov's PFD, so he does win the free. One minute left in this first half. The scores are still 3-3. Both teams locked in a bit of a tussle at the moment. Gianmarco's shot deflected down. Loose ball there, picked up by Webers. Tries passing, but is intercepted by Gianmarco. Webers gives away the foul there. He's a bit unhappy about that. Claramonte. Back to Manuel. Under 30 seconds left, only 20 seconds left now. Oh, an excellent goal there. Just out the back of the hand. Original pump and fake had Luke Holmes sold. 8 seconds left. Hawkins with another shot blocked.
I don't think his shooting stats are going to be very good after this game, unfortunately.
And Bulls just hold on to it. Vlad Satarov with a long shot blocked there. I have seen him make shots and goals from that distance in training though, so may as well take it, but that is the first half. So Bulls just with a 1-goal lead into the second half. Be back with you shortly. So a few minutes before we get the second half underway. Good performance from both teams, but arguably the Bulls looking a little bit more settled with their team structure than the Hippos.
Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of tension relieved a little bit more freedom to play now. It's a little bit harder for them to make the playoffs, possibly. Maybe the Hippos just relaxing a little bit too much now they're actually in as well. Having a little bit less tension on the water definitely seems to make teams play a lot better.
Both teams lined up, ready for that charge start. We have Jean-Marco and Ivan. Great work there from Emanuele for the Bulls. Unlucky there from Ho for the Bulls, just fumbling the ball and falling for Debellier. Fast breaks on, but the pass was intercepted. Does look like foul was given.
I think a legal tackle for coming up onto the deck on that first tackle there.
Interesting, because that was a fast break towards an open goal, but it does not look like a card has been given. And great work there from Luke Holmes to put that ball in. It was a very fast, quick chest pass, catching Poe off guard. Emanuele just racing down. Sends the ball out, back out to Satorov. Now with Hergele. Across to Claramonte. Hergele over the other side. Gianmarco. Just bouncing off the bar there.
Very lucky rebound back into the Bulls' hands, and it looks like it's a holding call on one of the Bulls players on the inside. Gianmarco is going to take his time to try and set up for a nice inside shot.
He's got Vladimir on one side, screening, but unfortunately that shot is just off that bottom corner. And the follow-up from Claramonte deflected out for a corner. Hergele feeding it inside to Cuppy. And the captain gets his second goal of the game.
Very excited about that goal. Nice big fist pump from Cuppy.
Frustration there for the Hippos. Looks like the defender's paddle deflected it around the goalkeeper, also obstructing the goalkeeper from really getting to it. Weber's shot there just straight into the paddle of the Bull player, and it looks like a bit of a fast break potentially on here, but great work from the Hippos to slow it down. It does get across to Poe.
Very aggressive turnover from the Bulls there. Almost getting a clean fast break in the confusion on the turnover. Green card for that hack in that original play there for one of the Hippos players.
And Poe is calling a timeout for his team. So they will have a chat. Good to see the Bulls again using that timeout while they are in attack, as they did in the previous season. We'll see what impact that they can have on their play.
So just looking at the stats before, it's a very tight result comparing to some of the top scorers from the previous season. The Hippos having, I think, a couple of the top 5 scorers, and the next closest from the Bulls down in the I think bottom half of the scoring range there. Still a bit of a changeover from last season. Quite a few new players in the Bulls, some very big shooters. We'll just see if they can look to convert some of these shots into goals.
One thing that the Bulls did have to their advantage, although they didn't score as many goals as some of the other teams, those goals were shared throughout the entire team, with 5 of their players all scoring 4 or 3 goals each. So it's good to see that those shooting options and threats can come from any player on that team. They weren't relying solely on their big players like the Hippos do tend to do sometimes in their games.
Yeah, with Ivan de Bellier getting MVP last season, being a fairly continuous force in CPSL over the last couple of years as well. And same with Lucas Pillar. He's been through 3 years, I believe now, quite consistently in the green team on the Hippos.
Great steal there from de Bellier, but it does fumble out of his hands, and Anthony picks it back up.
1-on-1.
Nice lob there to Gianmarco, and it's in. So, Bulls getting another goal in there. Not a lot Luke Holmes can do there, one-on-one with an excellent shooter. Guesses the right way, but just doesn't quite get his paddle there quick enough. So Bulls with a 2-goal lead now. First 3 minutes of this half played, 7 to go.
Be interested to see if the Hippos look to push out and press or man out with 4 players, seeing as they don't need to get much of a result here. See if they want to try and practice that to close the gap, or if they're going to stay tight and try and conserve themselves for the rest of the season.
Like some of the Hippos are putting a little bit of pressure on, but just the top player. The other 3 are happy to sit back in defence.
Maybe just testing the waters to see if he can rustle some feathers up the top there, get them to get a bit agitated and start getting a bit more aggressive than they need to be.
Shot there from Escaf out for a corner. Hawkins just going out to the corner to try and intercept that pass.
Some very isolated pressure from the Hippos here against the Bulls. We'll see if it keeps building or if that's just what they're looking for, to see if they can get a little bit of a tip here or just wind down the shot clock those extra couple of seconds with that one-man pressure.
Escaf over to Hergele. Back to Emanuele. He's got some space in the centre. And his shot's just over. Luke Holmes looking for the fast break there, asking for a ball quickly. Doesn't quite get it though. Yelling at his team to go, but yeah, just brings the ball up himself. Goro Herrero to Hawkins. Herrero.
Looking for the feed in as Luke slots through that centre. That little bit of a hole in that 2-2 defence. Just opening up for him, but not able to get the ball in there for him.
Hippos with 2 inside now. Hippos Timmer, his usual position. Hawkins inside for a bit, but he's gone back out again. He's now on the right hand side with that shot option. But again, great work there from Gianmarco Emanuele to block his shot.
Seeing a very fluid defence from the Bulls here as well, as they're moving around, tracking the players and the ball and the threats. Seems to be working quite well for them. Another backdoor drive from Hawkins, tries to get the feed in.
Intercepted, and it does look like Turk Webers also gave away the goalkeeper foul.
Another very quick turnaround from the Bulls as well. Big aggression, 2 players up already.
Cubby trying to feed it across to Escaf, but intercepted. Now with Pillars, the captain. Little fumble there, leaving the ball behind, but
Just taking
no
his
pressure
time.
from the Bulls. Patience is key. Hawkins to Holmes. Back to Hawkins. And his shot glancing over the outside of that upright bar. Hawkins' arm making contact with the captain of the Bulls' arm, but again, Anthony has his hands up in a stationary position before Hawkins starts his throwing movement, so no foul given from the referee. Emanuele to Claramonte.
Looks like the Hippos might have transitioned to a 2-2. This could be a bit of their experimenting now while they've got the time.
They're 2 goals down with 3 minutes left, putting a little bit more pressure on the opposition, although it might not matter for this game with regards to their position on the ladder. It's a good one to practice for future ones. Claramonte just trying to feed that ball inside, but again, Tebellier pounces it, but he feeds it through to Hawkins, gives it to Pillars, and it's a loose pass there from Hawkins off the back of Pillars' boat and out for a corner. So
Nice little tip from John Marco, I think, that just got it and got that lucky bounce off the tail of the Hippo's boat to get the corner. It's interesting seeing the Bulls still being very aggressive with their 2-goal lead. So we're trying to push that ball in.
excellent work there from Vincente Claramonte, number 11 for the Bulls.
Dances past the side player there.
Bulls clearly wanting to extend that lead. It's 3 goals now. They did have a substantial lead in their previous game against the Wolves, but the Wolves caught them back in that second half and had that clutch equaliser with 2 seconds left to get the draw. The Bulls were devastated, and they're just not going to let that happen again. Unlucky shot there, bouncing off the bar for Pillars. Does bounce favourably for the Hippos though. Gordo Herrera's shot blocks by Emanuele, and it does fall for him as well, so there's a turnover. Now with Poe, under 2 minutes left.
Looks like Hippos have decided to come out for the press to see if they can get something back from this 3-goal deficit. 5-man out.
Emanuele's pass just not quite making it, but
Looks like this aggressive defense has paid off as well.
so just a little loose there from the Bulls. The Hippos do get the turnover. 90 seconds left in this game. We hope the Bulls can hold on to this lead.
They'd be devastated if they lose a 3-goal lead with 1:20 to go.
Weber's shot just getting off that upright and bouncing out, so just a few of the Hippos' shots just not really working to their advantage.
Maybe some confusion from the Hippos press 5 out, leaving a player open to get that long shot, but results in a turnover. That's a workable result for the Hippos there. 1 minute left, 3 goals to go. Could be a big comeback. I think they're going to be pushing for it.
Weber's shot just straight into the hands of Escaf. Emanuele just sending it down the other end. Looks like Hergele's racing it on. Bit of a tight angle, but he gets it in. And it's a 4-goal lead with 33 seconds. So I think that tight comeback is
Yeah, I think
not on the table anymore, baby.
I don't think I'll be putting money on that comeback now. No, that Bulls' aggression in the turnover is definitely paying off. There's been a few now where they're getting good numbers up the field very quickly, and the Hippos are struggling to cover it. Those are really nice goals to get on the water if you can get that quick turnover, just sprint up the field, a few seconds, pocket a goal, back into defense.
10 seconds, so Gordo Herrera is going to be just looking for one final goal, but straight into the paddle. Does fall for Claramonte.
1 second.
Long shot.
Oh.
And just to the side, and that is full time. So the Bulls get their first win of the 2019 CPSL competition with an 8-4 convincing win over the Hippos. Hippos not playing the best of their games, but all credit goes to the Bulls that have come out incredibly strong with a very well-earned win.
Definitely some good paddle blocks from the Bulls there. I think the shot percentage for some of the Hippos players is not going to be spectacular. Those side guard players definitely stopping them before they even get to the keeper.